Darla, say hi.
Good morning. I am Debbie Mercer, and I serve as Dean of the College of Education in Kansas City. Dr. Shute is a professor of educational leadership in the College of Education. He has also served as the director of the Cargill Center for Ethical Leadership and co-founder of the School of Leadership Studies, where he has served as a senior scholar. His research areas include tort law, leadership, and equity. Further, he's a nationally recognized expert in the area of education law with a focus on sexual harassment and abuse prevention and risk management. He has served as a forensic expert witness in over 100 court cases in 25 states. He's been a frequent guest on national radio and television talk shows and is the author of 20 textbooks and over 100 journal articles, monographs, and book chapters, and has produced 6 educational videos. In addition to his professional journals, his research has been featured in numerous newspapers and popular magazines worldwide, including such diverse publications as the London Times, the New York Times, USA Today, Education Week, and Reader's Digest. meet is fighting a great battle. I am honored to present Dr. Robert Shue.
President Schultz, Dean Mercer, colleagues, friends and family of graduates and graduates, I'm honored to be here with you this morning. And I say this because I too am a teacher. My wife is a teacher, my daughter's a teacher, and a large number of my friends are teachers. And although I believe that every honest profession is important, I truly believe that what happens in the classroom is more important than what happens in City Hall, Capitol Hill, Main Street, or Wall Street. In the 38 years I've been at Kansas State, I've had the opportunity to teach a large number of students. In fact, some of the students sitting here as graduates today may have moms or dads who were my students. In fact, that murmur you heard when I stood up was them saying, "Goodness, he looks exactly like he did when he was my teacher." The murmur wasn't real loud, but I heard it. About 2 months ago, Dean Mercer asked me to spend some time with you this morning. And I did what many of you did at the beginning of the semester when Dr. T. Gardner, partners, or Youngkey gave you a term paper for the semester. So last night I started thinking about what I was going to say this morning. Okay, that's not true. I've actually been thinking for a long time about how I could spend a couple minutes that would be of interest. I decided to talk about values. Our actions are driven by our values, the values that we hold. If you're going to be a teacher because one of your strongest values is you want to help young people grow and develop and become productive, happy citizens, then you chose exactly the right profession, and I'm proud of you. I applaud that decision. But values are funny things. For example, everyone in the auditorium, raise your hand if you believe in the golden rule. Okay. Now, keep it up if you've ever opened the door for someone entering a building. Okay. Now, keep it up when that person walked through without saying thank you, it really annoyed you. Okay. So the question is, why were we annoyed? You can put your hands down. The question is, why were we annoyed? And I think we're annoyed because there was a confusion in values. Sometimes we do things not because it's the right thing to do, but because we want to be recognized or thanked for what we do. And I think we'll find as educators that recognition and gratitude aren't always there. But I wanted to think about what I do when I'm faced with the conflicts. Because sometimes as a teacher, you're going to be faced with problems that don't seem to have a right decision. You're not sure what to do. And that's when you really need to know what your values are and be able to draw on those values. There can be people that you work with that annoy you. There can be children who challenge you every day. And you have to realize that those decisions have to be made consistently on the basis of who you are. And I want to share a couple values that I think are important for educators. The first one is to be passionate. Passion will help you through the tough spots. There are going to be difficult days. There'll be days that are frustrating. There'll be children who challenge you, and it'll be difficult to get through those times. But if you keep in mind why you became a teacher and the value of helping people and helping them be better human beings and better citizens, that passion for what you do can help you. A second value is to be committed to equity, fairness, and justice. Each day we'll face issues related to race, religion, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, class, and disability. It's important for each of us to remember every day that we have an ethical and a legal duty to treat each student in your classroom fairly and with respect. Third value is optimism. I think most people are basically good and if given the opportunity will make the right decision. When my daughter Allison was in elementary school, every day when I picked her up after school, I would ask her one question. What's the best thing that happened to you today? I wanted her to leave school every day thinking something positive. And I actually do this myself. When I'm walking away from my office at the end of the day, I try to think about the things that happened to me that were the most interesting, most amusing, and most enlightening. Fourth is be kind. As Dean Mercer said, Philo of Alexander's quote that I oftentimes repeat is, be kind to everyone, for they all face a great battle. Sometimes we think we're the only ones with problems, and those problems can be very serious. But I think it helps when we're dealing with people, particularly people who are difficult, if we remember that they may be having problems in their lives that we'll never know. And fifth, be honest. Honesty is probably the most important. Honesty, justice, integrity are the most important values we can have as teachers. For example, a number of years ago, I was thinking back over my high school time, and I was thinking of my teachers. And I wasn't a particularly good student in school. I knew I had to keep a C average to stay eligible to play football, and that was my goal. But Mr. Hibbert changed my life. He was my English teacher. He taught me to appreciate literature. He taught me to be excited about the creative process. He taught me how to be a writer. And a while back, I decided to find Mr. Hibbert and thank him. It took me about a month to track him down. He moved from Ohio to Pennsylvania to California to Fort Myers, Florida. And when I was in that area, I rented a car, I drove over to his house, and when I got in the car, I saw him sitting on the front porch in a chair. I walked up on his lawn, stood in front of him, and told him what I was doing, where my career had taken me, and to thank him. He looked at me, paused for a moment, and said, "Get off of my lawn." I was a little bit taken back, but as I drove away, I asked myself, really, why did I go and see him? Did I go because I wanted him to know how much I appreciated him and what he did for me? Or did I go because I wanted to impress him by what I've accomplished in my career? His reaction caused me to remember that you really can't control the outcome of your actions. You can only control your actions. I encourage each of us to reflect upon our values every day and to try to always be sure that our actions reflect our values and that we're always drawn to our better selves. On behalf of your future students, thank you for becoming teachers.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shoup, and thank you for the impact you've had on education at Kansas State University and truly throughout the world. And we wish you the very best as you begin your retirement next month. To extend remarks on behalf of the students of our college, I'm pleased to introduce Courtney Nagel, an elementary education major from Manhattan, Kansas.
Thank you, Dean Mercer. As I reflect upon the past 4 years of college, it is hard to believe that we are at this point in time. They say that time flies when you're having fun, and that is certainly the truth. Although I am not sure that you can call staying up until 3 a.m. trying to finish a portfolio fun, but it was an adventure nonetheless. If you are like me, then you remember the anticipation of beginning the professional semesters in the College of Education program. For me, taking the classes that would bring me closer to my dream of being an educator was so exciting and the best part of my time at K-State. However, it never failed that on the first day of classes in my blocks, my professors would all say a common phrase. I'm not sure if they got together and planned it, but on the first day of class, after going through the syllabus, they would undoubtedly say, "Don't worry, you'll make it through." As a student who tends to get nervous easily, those 6 words scared me. If the syllabus wasn't overwhelming enough, that phrase was enough to make me throw my hands in the air and walk out. However, my desire to become a teacher was stronger than any fears I might have about a class. So, like all of you, I persevered, completed the work, and made it through semester after semester. Now here we are at graduation. I think there is a great lesson to be learned from these experiences. Our professors asked us to trust them, believe in ourselves because they believed in our abilities and our desires to succeed. We are now challenged to instill that motivation and drive in our students as well. As educators, we want what is best for all of our students. We want to give our students the tools they will need to be successful later in life. Some students, when they see a large amount of work, decide not to try and give up. They don't want to attempt the work because of the fear of failing. I am here to challenge you to push your students to take risks. Without big risks, there are no big rewards. What is a child's reward for taking risks? Higher levels of knowledge, the ability to ask questions, creativity, problem-solving skills, self-confidence, and the feeling they can tackle any situation that might come their way. Aren't those the skills we want our students to leave our classroom with? By building those relationships and creating a safe and welcoming environment, we can ask our students to take risks. It isn't going to be easy, but the result is a greater, more rewarding journey of learning. Today I am here to thank you. I thank you for putting your best effort forward, persevering through challenging classes, and taking risks within the classroom. Thank you for making this campus, and especially the College of Education, feel like home. The bond College of Education students create is unbreakable. I am so proud to say that I have friends, and now colleagues, that will forever be in my heart. Thank you also to the faculty who helped us get to this point in our lives. We are now prepared to be educators that are knowledgeable, ethical, caring decision makers in a diverse and changing world. Thank you for believing in us, guiding us, and helping us grow into the educators we were meant to be. I feel so thankful to say that K-State is a college where everyone has a place and where dreams can come true. Finally, I am thankful that you chose to answer the call to be an educator. The career we are about to embark upon is not easy. It is hard work that requires all of our passion, drive, and determination. The profession we chose, or that chose us, requires all of our love and compassion. Some of us have known since the beginning of time that we were meant to be teachers. Others discovered that fact upon entering college or later in life. Whatever the case may be, thank you for heeding the call. It takes a special person to be a teacher. I feel blessed and honored to call myself one, and you should too. Families and friends, we cannot forget you on this momentous day. Without your love and support, we would not be here. From you, we have learned many things, and we appreciate the value you have placed in our education. You were our first teachers. Now we can pass on the lessons we have learned to the many children that enter our classrooms. Before we become alumni of Kansas State University, I will leave you with one final thought. From the words of Robert John Meehan, if you ask me what I came into this world to do, I will tell you without hesitation. I was born to be a teacher. Good luck, class of spring 2014. Never let anyone dull your sparkle.
By the authority granted me by the people of Kansas and the Kansas Board of Regents, upon recommendation of faculty, upon completion of all degree requirements, I am pleased to confer upon you the respective degrees you have earned at Kansas State University. You may now move the tassel to the left side of your boards. This side. Good job. Well done. You're now graduates of Kansas State.
Congratulations to all candidates for the class of May 2014. We will now proceed with the presentation of diplomas to graduates.
Ellen Margaret Anderson. Ian Gregory Allison. Jennifer Marie Barvin, magna cum laude. Andrew Boyd Beard. Rebecca S. Bowling. Tyler Allen Bruce.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Lisa Nicole Cardoni. Sarah Christine Carlson. Timothy Charles Coles.
What?
Katie Renee Crossway.
Huh? Oh, I know.
Mitchell Robert D. Hall.